here just in our own town, we have a lot of farms, and there's been this movement going on. Wherever you are, you can pretty much grow food. And with me here, I have my special guest, Dan Susman. He is the filmmaker of Growing Cities and looking, right, like at urban farming and all that good stuff. So is it true people are growing farms all over, growing food, making farms?
Yeah, totally. It's the kind of thing where everywhere I go, like whether it's a festival or conference, and people see the film and they're like, well, why didn't you include this place or that place or where I'm from? And it's, to me, that's really reassuring because it shows that, hey, people are growing food, so they're starting gardens for community gardens or rooftop farms, or maybe they have chickens in their backyards. It's kind of happening everywhere, so it's really exciting.
And now, Dan, you live in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So what's the farming, are you a farmer? Like, how did you get into this?
Well, so I grew up growing pumpkins in the backyard with my mom and dad, and there's a lot of big,
like the really big ones.
Yeah, the ones that are like, they were like bigger than me. But in Nebraska, you hear a lot about the corn and soybeans, and that's something that's I've been around my whole life. And I saw when I came back after college, came back home, I said, why isn't anyone growing food? And I wanted to learn about what was happening all across the country and see what other cities were doing to really feed themselves and nourish their communities. So that's kind of how we decided, hey, we're going to take this road trip and make this film, Growing Cities.
Which is interesting, right, to say that, because I think a lot of people might not think about it when you say farming and growing corn and soy. A lot of that isn't even edible.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it's corn syrup, it's ethanol, it's a lot of other things. But we subsidize those types of things, and we don't really subsidize vegetables. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are they're taking this into their own hands, and they're growing food, in their backyards or, wherever they can.
So what was the biggest takeaways from you in creating this film? It took over 3 years, by the way,
yeah.
to do this, and traveling all over.
Yeah. Well, one takeaway is, don't just start something lightly if you want to finish, because, something like a film at 3 years, it's, it's a long time. But
how would you connect that with the farming aspect then?
Yeah, in terms of the farming, I think, we found that, no matter where you are, no matter what kind of space you have, you can make a difference in your community. And, a lot of people think, well, I don't know how to grow food myself. I don't want to get my hands dirty. What can I do to be a part of the food movement? And, we found that there's so many different ways, whether it's talking to your legislator and, getting, livestock legalized, or it's working with kids and educating them about, healthy foods, or cooking. There's so many different ways that you can get involved.
Get your hands dirty in a variety of ways.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So can you tell me, our theme this year is empowerment. Do you have a story or a specific example of how someone who's now seen your film has been empowered somehow to actually do something different in their lives, perhaps around growing their own food or farming?
Yeah, totally. We always, we'll have people send us emails or say, I, loved your film, and, I started my own garden, or I, did this, or maybe I got backyard chickens. So that's always cool to see. And, our motto, which I think goes along with the empowerment, is it's grow where you are. So it's, no matter where you are, no matter where you live, you can grow something. And, people are doing that, all over the country, really taking it into their own hands. And there's so many stories that say, the food system is so messed up, and, you can throw up your hands and be like, well, the farm bill is a mess. But, something you can do, right where you live is, grow some food. So that's something that we just try to tell people, hey, it's as simple as planting a seed. So,
Dan, what is it that compelled you to come to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival?
Well, I've heard really good things about it, and, talked to other filmmakers who had been here, and they said, it's a really great event, and, it's put on really well. And, in the day that I've been here, I've really been impressed. And, our screening this morning at 9:30, I was like, nobody's going to show up. We had like 120 people there, packed house, like, people were really excited, asking questions afterwards. Sold all of the DVDs that I have.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
well, and it's for folks who are watching this right now. I mean, it's sold out. It's sold out today.
Mm-hmm.
And we have multiple venues both in Nevada City and Grass Valley, and they are full houses. So it's definitely the place to be right now. How would you describe Wild and Scenic Film Fest?
Yeah, to me, it's a lot of engaged, passionate people who are really excited about, environmental issues. So whether it's food or water, or maybe an adventure film like skiing. Just passionate about the environment. And I think Wild and Scenic does a good job of bringing together a lot of inspiring films and people who want to be inspired. So it's a good combination.
Is there a film or something you've seen here that has changed the way you think about things?
I saw. I've only been able to see one or two other films, but I saw Gasland 2 last night, which I'm sure people have been talking about, and I think that was really interesting to me. The first time I saw Gasland 1, and I was like, well, this is something such a big problem, and what do you even do? But I think Gasland 2 really kind of extended the story and told you, there's all these other things, and to me, I think it connected it a little bit more to activism, and having Deborah there, to really
it's a big deal.
Connect that. But I think having filmmakers and showing their films, doing Q&As, it really brings a lot more than just showing a movie and saying see you later.
Yeah. What would be your message to everybody about why it's so important to take that other step, to put your passion into action, and to share your voice around certain issues like this, or about around growing your own food, for example?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of armchair activists. There's a lot of people.
I've been an activist for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Hanging out in my armchair.
Armchair activists. Some people who are on board with these issues, but maybe what we really need is, whether it's for a policymaker, on the local level, let's say the policymakers banned backyard chickens, and so we've seen communities over and over go, they get their neighbors together and they say, hey, this is important to us, and if people can have Rottweilers, why can't we have a goat, or a chicken?
Or a goat. Yeah, throw a goat in there.
Yeah.
Could you finish this sentence for me? What empowers me is?
There's a lot. What empowers me is hope.
From Dan Susman.
Yeah.
Giving hope to everybody. Growing Cities. And where can folks go to get more information, Dan?
Yeah, so www.growingcitiesmovie.com. We've got we've got a great urban farm map on there, so if people want to find farms in their community.
Cool. I saw that. That's
and just type in your zip code, so it's really cool.
Nice to meet you. Thanks
Yeah,
so much,
nice
Dan.
meeting you.
Dan Susman, Growing Cities. Check it out.
Awesome.
Online or a theater near you soon,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
I'm Elisa Parker. We'll be right back.